Good morning and three cheers to you. I hope you're all doing good today. This is also a very interesting video. The title of this video is Why We Need Visual Symbols to Represent Intellectualism and the Intellectual Movement. Okay, let me begin this video by reviewing all the basic colors that have been associated with intellectualism and the intellectual movement. Light yellow is the color of intellectualism, has also found some traction. Okay, it is not widely accepted or widely endorsed. Okay, it is not just blue. Blue also is sometimes seen as the color of intellectualism. However, blue and yellow, in my opinion, are allied with some religious symbols and from other symbols. Okay, for example, yellow, light yellow, sometimes seen as being associated with Buddhism, unlike saffron, which is associated with Hinduism. Blue is sometimes seen to be the color of Dalit emancipation. Okay, and Baba Sahib Ambedkar was the founder of the Dalit movement de facto. Preferred light blue because he was also associated with wearing light blue suits. Okay, and gray as the color of intellectualism also is a very good idea. It has not been widely endorsed or publicized yet. But according to me, gray because it's associated with thinking and gray cells. Grey should be the color of intellectualism. I personally prefer grey because it's also not associated with any major religion. The color grey is also associated with grey hair and therefore with wisdom and experience. The grey color is also representative of nuance because it is neither black or white. You have nuances and gradations in between. Okay. Therefore, the name this means that the gray color brings about a balanced and a intricate and delicate approach. Okay. The second best option in our view is light yellow. However, we invite a debate from other intellectual thinkers. Okay. Let us now other also review some famous symbols from the world's biggest religion. You have Christianity, which is the world's largest religion. That is why I'm putting it first, not because of any other reasons. Christianity, if you see the color of Christianity, we have bright red representing the spiritual awakening of Moses as he's visited by God. We also have blue to symbolize the hope and faith that Moses had in God. Finally, we have brown, which symbolizes the earth and God's connection to man. We again see two prominent colors in Christianity. These are namely blue and red, respectively. White is also seen as the symbol and color of purity in Christianity in some Christian circles. If you see the symbols of Christianity, you have cross, which is the most visible symbol of Christianity because Jesus was crucified on a cross. Crucifix necklace is also very popular with Christians. Ictus or the Jesus fish. The fish is a very old symbol associated with Christianity or even before that. Dove. A dove was supposedly seen at Jesus' baptism. Flame. The Holy Spirit came to Jesus' friends looking like flames of fire. Candles are also widely associated with Christianity, just like Deepa. Lamps are associated with Hinduism. Bread and wine is also associated with the Christianity. However, wine is haram in Islam and it is not a part of Indian cultural traditions. Okay, water and anchor are also seen as symbols of Christianity, and we also have symbols, other symbols like Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Purpose of this is to tell you how symbols are associated with certain movements so that we can come up with similar ideas. Similarly, together, God, the Father, and the Holy Son Spirit accomplish the world of redemption and sanctification according to Christianity. God the Father initiates, the Son fulfills, and the Spirit applies. The divine teamwork showcases the person's perfect unity and love within the Trinity, guiding believers to live out their faith and harmony with goodwill. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit were associated in such New Testament passages such as the Great Commission. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Matthew 28:19. And in the apostolic benediction, the grace of Jesus Christ, etc. Okay. Now let us come to Islam. Islam is the world's second major religion. That is why I'm putting it next. Okay, not because of any preferences. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Green is colored to be the sacred color of Islam. It was associated with the Qidr or landscape of greenery. It is also the color that is indicative of the heavens. According to Muhammad's companions, it was seen to be Muhammad's favorite color. Okay. In fact, the Muslim faith believes that the people in paradise are dressed in all green. If you see the symbols of Islam, there are many symbols associated with Islam. If, for example, we have the crescent moon, which is the most prominent symbol of Islam, we have the Rubil Hizb, which is an ancient Arab symbol in the name of an octogram, the shape of an octogram, represented as two overlapping squares. The Kaaba, sometimes referred to as Al Kaaba Al Musrafa, is a stone building at the center of Islam's most important mosque and holiest site, the Masjid Al Haram in Mecca. Okay, and Muslims consider this to be a most holiest shrine and the holiest shrine and the most important house of God. Okay, mosques are also uh, very important for Muslims, and mosques come in specific ornate design, which you must understand. Prayer mats also consist of intricate and ornate designs. Okay, you also have concepts such as Islamic lantern and seal of Muhammad. Now let us come to Hinduism, which is the world's third largest religion. The most visible color associated with Hinduism is saffron. Saffron is comprised of shades of golden yellow and orange. It is the most sacred color for the Hindus. It represents the fire that burns out all impurities and cleanses itself in the process. It symbolizes purity, wisdom, and the quest for light. Sages and ascetics who have renounced the world also generally dress in saffron. Of course, this is not traceable to the Indus Valley civilization or very early in ancient Indian society, but nonetheless, it has come to be. It has come to become the most visible symbol of Hinduism. We have other symbols of Hinduism, such as the Om symbol. Try to trace out the history of all this. I'm not getting into all this here. Okay, we also have lotus. We also have swastika, the symbol of good fortune, which was usurped and misappropriated by Hitler and other people. We also have Kamandulu and the water pot. We also have Lingam associated with Shiva, which is a part of the Hindu trinity. We also have the tilak, which is worn by many people. And there is differences. For example, Tamil Nadu, Shaivites and Vaishnavites have a different approach. Okay, we have Trishula, which is the trident of Lord Shiva. We have the chakra, the conch or shank. Okay, and these are all very visible symbols. We also have the kalash or the sacred pot, lamp. Lamp is lit on many occasions, such as Diwali. We have the lotus. Lotus in Sanskrit is called Padma. Okay, we have the Rudrakshmala, 108 beads, etc., and tilaks, etc. And if you see Buddhism is probably fourth or fifth largest religion in the world. We have three specific signs: the Bodhi tree, the Dharma wheel, and the Stupa, which are the most important. We have concepts. We have also eight auspicious symbols associated with Buddhism. These are the precious parasol. The precious parasol symbolizes the beneficial activities of keeping beings from the helm of illness, harms of illness, harmful forces, obstacles, and so on and so forth. The wide conch shell represents the fame of Buddha's teachings that spread in all directions like the sound of the conch shell. The two golden fish. Two golden fish historically symbolize the Ganges and the Yamuna rivers. Over time, they have become symbols of good fortune or good luck. The knot of eternity. The endless knot has no beginning or end. It symbolizes the infinite wisdom and compassion of the Buddha. It represents the endless movement of time and the eternal continuum of the mind. The two interlaced designs represent the interconnectedness of connections between all beings on earth. The vase of great treasures, a traditional symbol of good fortune, representing the perfect nature of the Dharma, longevity, and prosperity. The victory banner signifies the victory of the enlightened teachings, knowledge over ignorance, overcoming all hindrances, and attainment of happiness. Okay, the lotus flower in Buddhism, the lotus is associated with purity, spiritual awakening, and faithfulness. The flower is considered pure as it is able to emerge from the murky waters in the morning and be perfectly green. It is also known to symbolize purity of speech, the body, and of the mind. Okay, the eight spoked wheel. The eight spoked wheel or the Dharma Chakra represents the parts of the path to wisdom and the end of all suffering faced by mankind. The soul in the middle represents the Buddha himself, along with the moral god of the universe, Dharma, the spiritual community, Sangha. Symbols of Judaism. Judaism is also widely practiced, it's also one of the oldest religions, next perhaps only to Hinduism. You have menorah. It has seven lamps which refer to the branches of human knowledge. Star of David, the Kabbalah, the Star of David can symbolize the connection between God, Israel, and the Torah. Okay, it can also symbolize the relationship between God and the people of the seven virtues: kindness, severity, harmony, perseverance, splendor, foundation, and loyalty. Mezuzah is a piece of parchment inscribed specific Hebrew verses from the Torah, with Jews affixed in a small case of the doorstep of the homes. Torah is the holy book for uh, Jews, the Old Testament. Tree of Life. This is widely used in Rabbinical Judaism. It can be traced to Neo-Assyrian Empire of the 9th century BC, around 2800 years ago. We then have Magen David, six-pointed star. The Star of David is a symbol generally recognized as representing both Jewish identity and Judaism. It is in the shape of a hexagram, the compound of two equilateral triangles. We also have the Lion of Judah. Lion of Judah is a Jewish national cultural symbol, traditionally regarded as a symbol of the tribe of Judah. It also represents a lion. And if you have the see the Dalit movement, blue was Ambedkar's favorite color because it is that is one of the reasons Dalit movement adopted his color. It was also the color of his suit. Blue is also the color of the sky. Okay, color of sky. Sky encompasses everything. Okay, everything is under the sky. Shadow. I mean, everything is under the purview of the sky. So it is a representation of non-discrimination. That under the sky, everyone is believed to be equal. Absolutely. And the serpent, tiger, and the sacred trees also serve as symbols of defense against social structures that have marginalized and oppressed centuries for Dalits for centuries. Of course, this is highly controversial. I have always suggested that you have this, what do you call this, caste system, Manusmriti, and all that came into use much later. Indus Valley civilization did not have caste system. It was a hierarchy classes, but that was common in all societies. Even though the caste system is described in the Rig Veda, I don't think it was very rigid earlier. It became rigid much later because vested interests made it more rigid. So you cannot say that caste system is the basis of Hinduism. It's absurd. Okay, we need to fight against this. It's the basis. Because Indus Valley civilization also contributed to Hinduism, as did all other marginalized major cultures in North India, Central India, South India, West India, East India, even Northeast India for that matter, would have contributed to Hinduism. So Hinduism itself is very diverse. Okay, while some aspects of it are objectionable, you cannot say that Hinduism is equal to caste system. This is a misrepresentation in the West, in Marxist circles and among Dalit circles. This is wrong. We would like to fight against it, and we would like to bring without Hinduism in the same light. At the same time, we must also note that rabid fanatical versions of Hinduism, as proposed by Hindutva, will do a great deal of damage to Hinduism in the long run. Okay, and now if you see Intellectuals Day has not been endowed and imparted with the importance it deserved. In Bangladesh, we do have on 14th December martyred Intellectuals Day to commemorate the large number of Bangladeshi intellectuals killed by Al Badr. Okay, the collaborators of Pakistani forces during the Bangladesh Liberation War, which was also supported by Indira Gandhi, and this particularly happened on 25th March and 14th September, December 1971. Oh, this is not the type of intellectualism I support or I endorse or I agree with. Okay, Million Intellectuals Day. This is not commemorated on a wide scale. This will go out and encourage people to think more. This must be instituted to commemorate the birthday of a noted and eminent intellectual. Jury is out. I think can have a vote and decide who's the most important intellectual. Maybe we can have a contest here and we can have different days for different countries also if required. And if you want icons for intellectualism, we have brain power. We prefer symbols that represent brain power. Jury is out, which is the most important symbol. Maybe we can have a concept here, but I prefer a brain and a head. Okay, where the brain clearly is shown. Okay, all the parts of the brain shown. I think this is very appropriate and opposite symbol for intellectualism. Okay. Now, if you see Inventors Day, on February 11th, National Inventors Day celebrates genius behind design. Okay, Inventors Day is a day of the year set aside by the country to recognize contributions of inventors. Not all countries, however, celebrate or commemorate Inventors Day. There are countries which do not celebrate Inventors Day. Even if they do so, they do not give it that much importance. One of the countries that gives it importance is Argentina because from Europe, the designer of the ballpoint pen, I think in the 30s or 40s, fled to Argentina and he developed the ballpoint pen there and exported it to the US and other countries. So the name of this inventor was Laszlo Joseph Biro. Austria, Germany, and Switzerland also celebrate the Inventors Day. In German speaking countries of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, it celebrated on 9th December. This is noted to be the birthday of the Austrian born inventor and Hollywood actress Hedy Lamann. His main invention was frequency hooked spread sector 1942. The day was declared by Berlin's inventors and entrepreneurs Gerhard Muttenthaler and Marijan Jordan. Okay, and according to the website of the organization, it intends to encourage people towards their own ideas and make a change to better for the betterment of society and the world. It also seeks to remind people of the forgotten inventors of early days, of early antiquity, whatever. Okay, on 4th of November, Brazil celebrates its own Inventors Day. Hungarian Inventors Day is celebrated in memory of Albert St. Georgi. Okay, it's celebrated on the 13th of June every year. He registered the national patent about the synthesized vitamin C in 1941. It's celebrated by the Association of Hungarian Inventors, MAFE. Okay, Magyar is the name for Hungary in their language. Magyar Postan. Moldova. Since 1995, the Republic of Moldova has celebrated Inventors and Rationalists Day at the end of June. Since 1957, Russia has celebrated an Inventors and Rationalizers Day at the last Saturday of June. Thailand recognizes 2nd February as the Inventors Day each year. Thai cabinet set this day to commemorate the anniversary of His Majesty the King Bhumibol Adulyadej's allocation of a patent for a slow speed surface aerator on 2nd February 1993. Okay, United States. The Ronald Reagan, as President of the United States, proclaimed 19th February 1983 as National Inventors Day. Okay, to call upon the people of the United States to observe the day with grandeur and large-scale ceremonies and appropriate activities, etc. And Congress also designated 11th February the anniversary of the birth of the inventor Thomas Alva Edison as National Inventors Day. India does not have such a day, unfortunately, in spite of it being a very important country. I'm not sure about China. And if you see World Creativity and Innovators Day, World Creativity and Innovators Day, UNESCO is a global UN day celebrated on April 21st to raise awareness around the importance of creativity and innovation problem solving with respect to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, also known as Global Goals. The day was created with the United in the nation's resolution with the support of 80 countries. The first World Creativity and Innovation Day was celebrated on April 21st, 2018. The purpose of the day is to encourage creative multidisciplinary thinking at the individual and group levels. Okay. According to UNESCO, UNDP, and UNOSSC, creativity has become the true wealth of nations in the 21st century, and this distinguishes and sets apart successes from failures, successful society from failures, failed societies, failed states, or banana republics, what we want to call them. India celebrates National Innovation Day on February 16th annually. This day is dedicated to recognizing innovation and impact of the country's development, particularly in fields like technology, software, and digital solutions. However, it needs to be celebrated in a much more grandiose fashion. And we don't have a intellectuals day as yet. Okay, this is a lacuna. This is a big, what do you say, glaring omission. Um, February 16th is celebrated to showcase the country's innovative spirit and role of innovation driving progress. Many events and activities related to innovation often coincide with the birth anniversary of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a prominent Indian scientist and former president, who's very much an Indian nationalist at heart, in spite of being a Muslim. And he passed away in 2015 in Shillong, I think. And we also have the National Innovation Foundation, NIF. Okay, it plays a crucial role in supporting and promoting grassroots and other innovations across the country. India does not have an Inventors Day, Intellectuals Day. Must be fashioned on similar lines. We look forward to more debates and discussions here. This must be implemented along with other items. With this, I end my video. Thank you.